everybody to the stream. Apologies for the technical issue. You know, internet is a problematic thing. It's now Misfortune. It's going to be in a little bit of danger there. We do have an engage already right off the bat as Rocky is going to face a little bit of danger. Moonlight gonna have to flash over the wall. Still will walk into the Xinjiao. Will get the knock-up Rel. Looking to try and get the stun here. The depth charge will go through. Will knock up Misfortune, interrupting the bullet time. Now Misfortune's gonna be in a little bit of danger. Viego not able to get through the Nico though, but Attila is able to cut through Rocky. But now Ziggy is gonna get knocked up. The rocket belt from Nico will rocket her into the back line. And now it's just going to be Alawi in the front, dropping that ultimate to try and get the side of BDE 2 back off. It's a 2-for-1, and it does go in favor of BDE as they start to look at the next Baron.
Becky, they've got the Baron. It's not looking very good. As Ziggy goes down, he's got a good engage, and Moonlight actually managed to get the cancel onto bullet time, but the damage was already just way too far done at that point. So it just kind of became an issue. Now, as the Baron goes down, things are looking a little bit more grim as these fights continue. Hyperion shows these signs of life, but then they just get a little bit too aggro and kind of kill themselves. As you kind of see Victor's actually building not Deathcap. Deathcap's still just too needlessly now, still, right?
I believe so, yeah. It doesn't build from any books.
I've been playing phone game too much lately.
Wow, but which phone game? You know, this is an LCK stream now. We got to talk about our mobile games.
Use offer code Sun eSports to Genshin Impact something. I don't know. Is that how it works?
I don't know. Look, I've been playing AFK Journey because it was advertised, and I was like, wow. Yeah, I'm one of those suckers who has YouTube Premium, so I actually don't get YouTube ads, and everybody talks about the fun YouTube ads. Like, everybody was laughing about, "Hi, I'm Natasha, an underworld doctor, feeling sick." But I never got that ad because I have YouTube Premium, so I missed out on the opportunity. So all the YouTube ad memes, I just don't get them. It's really depressing. Anyways, what else?
Casting, and while I look to repair everything, when you go to the post-game screen, anybody with epilepsy, please look away. There seems to be an issue with my camera. So I'm going to try to fix that issue while we finish the cast here, because we've got an exciting game. 8k gold lead for the side of BDE as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out.
We do have an engage coming down on to Rocky. Rocky will jump in. Ooh, the rocket belt! Not quite able to close the gap, but it's more than enough with the help of the rest of BDE to collapse in and collapse on the entirety of Hyperion, and they will be taken down, routed cleanly aside from Rocky dropping, and that will be a game victory, game 1 going over to BDE.
Yeah, and that looks to be exactly the case. We still haven't received the Roppel file for game 2, so we're going to have a little bit of time to talk about this as they finish off the turret here. BDE going to just go ahead and finish it off for us. Becky, let's talk a little bit about what just happened as we go over to the post game.
Yeah, let's take a look. See, let's take a. So, oh my God! Wow,
so there was the draft. Now
that's a light show.
Yeah.
Are you in a rave right now? What's going?
Anyways, while I look to get this camera fixed, let's talk a little bit about what went wrong for Hyperion in this game. Because it looked on paper like they were starting off pretty well, but things just got out of control a little too fast for them.
Yeah, it really... They just started losing across the map. Aside from Viego starting to pick up some kills, and that was really like a huge stepping stone for them making progress back into the game. Having that Viego as a damage dealer and an actual threat allowed them to get a little bit of pressure on to themselves, a little bit of, you know, apply a little bit of pressure, win a couple of fights. But the problem was that the side of BDE just ended up too far ahead. Not an insurmountable lead, but they had enough of a lead and played that lead so well that it kind of just prevented Hyperion from having opportunities to get back into the game. BDE really played a kind of very controlled for the lead that they had. They didn't overextend. They avoided getting caught as often as they could. And, you know, aside from a couple of blunders, they were able to prevent giving those windows to Hyperion to claw back the game. So I do think it was very well played and very smartly played from BDE this series.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And maybe if they went into these fights a little bit more like even from a gold perspective, maybe they would have been able to play these fights a little bit better, because despite being down, Ziggy was initiating fights well, finding flanks that he needs, finding picks on a Misfortune that was positioning very disrespectfully at times. So I definitely think Hyperion has an opportunity to turn this series around if they can just clean up their early game and maybe track Giraffe Rider and Xin Zhao a little bit better.
Yes.
I'll remember your name in a moment. I'm so sorry, friend.
Yep.
So I do think that Hyperion has an opportunity to turn the series around, and I think that maybe if they can adjust their draft to not forfeit 3 lanes,
yeah,
they'll do a little bit better. Maybe Indigo plays lane a little bit more respectfully as well, and this 100% can turn around.
Yeah, and that's where you want to be, of course. This seems like, you know, it could be a lot worse. I've seen greater deficits in games. This is very winnable for Hyperion. They just need to go back to the drawing board, figure out where their strengths are, and really focus on them to take down BDE. How do we happen to have the draft for game 2?
We sure do. Do you want to go over it?
Sure, we'll take a look at that while we have time. If we're still waiting on the raffle file, then we might as well take a look at draft.
I just opened the game.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so we've got the game. Sorry again about the rave. I don't really know what to do about it right this moment. We'll fix it at some point. But anyways, I have been given the raffle file for game 2. So we're going to quickly go over the draft. Let's head on over to that as we do a little wipe. Not even going to use the transition at this point because it just takes too long. So,
all right,
I'm side here. Misfortune first pick coming out.
Yeah, the Misfortune first pick. I'm surprised. You know, I gotta represent Ryleon right now. I'm surprised it wasn't Jinx. Why aren't we picking Jinx B1? It seems like the best AD carry right now. But obviously BDE played it last game. It's definitely something that their AD carry is comfortable with, I would imagine. So that would probably explain why we don't have the Jinx B1. But I do. This is kind of interesting. This is an interesting comp for Hyperion. They have similar kinds of tools to what we saw them have last game, but with a little bit more late game insurance in the form of the Jinx as opposed to the Ashe.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good pivot. Jinx is incredibly powerful on this patch. She's capable of playing out the early game a lot more safely. Into Misfortune is going to outrange the Misfortune, and then they manage to hold their support until a later pick. That being said, they did save Indigo counter pick for R5, so I'm happy to see that, especially because Maokai is such a powerful flex. You want to make sure it's in the hands of Bean MG. He is one of the few top laners that still consistently plays the Maokai, since it's been pretty much relegated to jungle and support for the most part for the last few seasons. But Bean still plays it, so you just want to make sure 100% it is Bean. Dory needs to turn up the gain. Alright, my bad. So, that being said, draft being pretty smart around waiting to get a hold of that Camille. Pretty smart, and I think Ziggy on the Hecarim's going to have a lot of control of that early game. You can hit level 3, make plays. My only worry is Jarvan makes Hecarim a little bit harder to play around because you need to use that onslaught of shadows in response to Cataclysm as opposed to proactively, or you can get caught.
Yeah, you have to. It'll be interesting to see if they are going to keep that in mind, or if, they maybe fumble a little bit going forward here. With that said, why don't we just hop into the game? I think we can, as we hop into the game, maybe we'll talk a little bit about which comp we favor at the start of the game, unless there's like a level 1 scuffle. But we didn't see that last game, so what are the odds it happens this game, right?
Surely not, surely not. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get into the in-game scene, let it load, and I have to open it.
All right.
And wipe, here we are, we're in the game. So.
And it's being on Maokai.
It is being on Maokai. So, into the game, emotes coming out, you know.
Yeah,
Level 1. So.
Yeah, game 2 here between Hyperion and Big Duck Entourage. Maokai top lane, as you were saying. It's not something you see very often. Was played a little bit here and there, but definitely has more strengths in the jungle, and especially on support this season, has found a lot of prominence. I am a Maokai enjoyer. I will play Maokai. I've played Maokai when he was garbage awful, and I've played Maokai when he was the best champion in the game. I will never stop playing Maokai. I love my tree. So, you know, I will be biased towards Maokai this game, for sure. But I'll try not to let that, you know, cloud my judgment, my expert analysis here. Yeah. Speaking of expert analysis, anything interesting you see here, just looking at some of these rune choices, summoner spells, anything stand out?
I think Grasp of the Undying Camille is a choice. I think it's fine. I would have personally been chill with Conquer this game, though. Or even press the attack, given that Bean is pretty much reliant on going D ring to be able to stay in the lane. E spam is too powerful. I think Giraffe Rider going for fleet footwork, totally fine. Sit in lane, wait it out, scale it out, and that is totally acceptable. And Nico going for the Comet is cool and awesome. The Comet was very successful for Dionat, was very successful for Giraffe Rider. So Dion trying to get a little bit more of that lane control. She had like possibility to be influential in the first game, as Brahm's actually just gonna get his rear end handed.
Brahm's taking a ton of damage here. No ignite onto Rocky though, as the bunch of flashes are going down. Alistar will drop the exhaust. One auto away. Okay, we do have the ward go down and the level will go through, and that means Misfortune doesn't have enough damage. The zap will land. Braum getting quite a bit of damage here. The slow will land, but that passive is not reset yet. There it is, but it's just a little too late to get that double kill. A really ambitious 1v1 in bot side, but Rocky didn't have the ignite to secure that first kill and will go down for it.
I have been lecturing Flannel lately about taking plays with mindfulness of the wave and mindfulness of the minions, and just seeing a massive double wave build up and knowing full well that Attila and Moonlight have control over level 2 here. It was so close to being a good play, but Kitticus and Rocky could have guaranteed it by just playing around level 2, as Camille goes for the Extendo Lego to get himself a little bit of damage off onto Maokai. Maokai too is eating half a wave of minions, just autoing him in the face. He took so much more damage than the Camille even applied because he tried to get the grass proc onto her.
Yeah, the greed. The grasp greed. We've all been there if you play top lane. We've all been there. We've all greeded to get the grasp proc and then, you know, lost half of our HP, but we got $1 into our pocket, so, you know, it's worth it. Getting 5 HP. That's actually what we call a victory, in my mind, at least.
I forget, how much gold does LS say 5 HP is worth? He equates everything to Ruby Crystal worth of stats, or
Ruby Crystals. Yeah, Ruby Crystal. What, 400 for 200 HP, or is it 150?
I think
I think it's 400 for 200. 400 for 150.
We cheated.
All right, we cheated. And I'm an English teacher, not a math teacher, so you'll get your calculators out, folks. What is 450 divided by what? 400 divided by 150. It's probably
about 2. No.
Yeah, it's like 2.5. I think it's like 2.5.
Yeah, 2
roughly.
2.5, 2.25. I think something like that. So 2.25 times gold value. So like 5 gold would be 2.5 HP or 2.5.
Sure. Yep.
Or double 10.
I don't know. I don't know any of it. Who cares?
Yeah,
it doesn't
10
matter.
Gold. Let's go.
what matters is the number go up. That's what I care about.
Big
seeing number go up.
Exactly.
That's why I that's why we love to play games like RuneScape, right? Is because we like watching number go up.
Absolutely. As Camille's gonna take a little bit of damage, getting that bone plating. I have been not doing great with words today. Camille's gonna try to get access to the river here, and I like that Camille's trying to trade here. I like seeing Indigo walk up like this because it's going to defend the collapse from Bean, because they weren't aware of where Jarvan was until the pink went down. So Jarvan comes over the wall to trade Dragon for Rift Herald. Indigo confirming where it is. Hyperion being a lot more active in the early game, and I'm digging it so far. I think that Moonlight getting off the lane and being more active with the team is paying dividends for them right now.
Yeah. All right. We do have an engage on to Rocky here. The Nico ulti will drop onto Misfortune, who will almost certainly go down unless she's able to walk away here. But Hecarim's fast. He's spinning. He's angry. He's going to be able to get 2 right now, cutting down the cow into some choice cuts. But that is going to be Jarvan and Azir walking away, as now 2 kills have gone into Hyperion's pocket, and now the shoe is on the other foot. They have the early kills, they have the early grubs, and they have the early Drake.
And this is fantastic. I mean, they're getting a lot more control of the map. This is already a 3,000 gold lead. 4,000? 3,000 gold lead. Yeah, 2. It's only 2. Dory, you're not good at math today either, so 2,000 gold lead already from the get-go here. Mountain Drake a little bit better in isolation than the Chemtech was last game, so definitely good Dragon RNG for the team here. And I mean, they've got the scaling potential and the side lane potential as well. Like, Giraffe Rider can prevent it a little bit, but Camille can just dive Giraffe Rider on repeat. Like, the shuffle is not going to be enough to stop Camille, considering Camille's hook is a lot shorter cooldown. So, I mean, I think that things are looking up for Hyperion already, and getting an early game lead like this is definitely good for them. At the same time, though, BDE still looking like they've got really good wombo potential, good team fight potential. Giraffe Rider has good range. So we'll have to see if it ends up being like Attila versus Giraffe Rider in the late game, if Indigo can have presence, or if Ziggy can just run away with the lead that he's acquired himself already.
Yeah, and that is something that Hecarim is very good at. He's very fast. He can run a very long distance, with that lead. Hecarim as a champion, I think, is very interesting because he's a jungler that when he gets those items and he gets that kind of early lead, he feels just unstoppable because his engages are super strong. He's able to dive the back line. He can play the front line as well. He's just such a versatile champion in terms of what he can do in fights that, at least from how I feel as Hecarim, it feels good, but it only feels good when you have a sizable lead over your opponent. And this game at least has those couple of kills, which does get them those early boots, but didn't have to sacrifice damage to get early boots. So they're spinning, they're gonna hurt quite a lot, and these ganks are going to be very dangerous. Once Ghost comes back up, there's a good chance that somebody could die.
And let's take a look at the state of this top side here. So Jarvan kind of just doing a bot side clear here as the collapse comes down from Attila and Moonlight. They're trying to get this reset, which is good. You've got the trade coming down mid. Nico and Giraffe here, Dion and Giraffe here getting pretty low, and Misfortune trying to delay the base. Definitely not the greatest. Just kind of hit the wave, let it reset, try to match the base here, because bot lane is going to be in a safe position as Hecarim passed towards the top side. Camille trying to get the tower, the wave crashed here to try to get a reset to make it easy for Hecarim to gank a standard gank. But honestly, you're in a situation where you kind of want to trade more. Azir trying to go forward here, but Hecarim popping the ghost.
Hecarim's going to pop the ghost. The Shurima will go out, but the Emperors will not divide this team, as now Jarvan's going to get pulled up, knocked up by the Nico, but Dion won't be able to quite secure that one. Super Mega Death Rocket, we see a frame of it flying by as it does not explode on to your boy Kevin, who walks away with very little HP in pocket, but this low health jungler means that Ziggy can look to take these grubs if grubs don't kill him. He should be fine. He's Hecarim. He's fine. Hecarim's okay. Hecarim about to get 6 grubs.
Yeah, and so far so good for Hyperion. There were some concerns in draft that we were talking about as we got out of the first game, and I definitely think Hyperion addressed it. They addressed their early game problems, and they've done a fantastic job of utilizing their support and jungler to have a much better looking game. Camille canceling the tower shot there.
Yeah, Camille canceled tower shot. Flash from Bean will keep the Maokai alive for just a moment, but Camille's just going to be in the hook shot waiting room. Ooh, the Twisted Advance goes out. The minions, 1, 2. Oh, the last minion auto takes down that HP. And that will be the end of Camille there. 1-for-1 trade in topside. Not sure. It looks like the wave is going to be now pushing into Indigo, so it's not bad for the Camille, I would say.
Yeah, all things considered, Bean did lose like half a wave of minions to the tower in that dive, so that's pretty good. And the wave is going to reset back, so Hecarim can look to use the acquisition of this dragon, should they get it, in order to get a reset and get even more snowballing onto this Camille if possible. But at the same time, you've got Braum coming out going for the Glacial Fissure.
Yeah, Braum's going to go for the Glacial Fissure. We have the combo of the Cataclysm Bullet Time, which will, just like fish in a barrel, shoot down Attila and Moonlight. Jarvan, good gank from your boy Kevin, getting some more kills on the board for the side of BDE, and set themselves up for potentially getting this Drake if they don't fear the movement from Nico or Ziggy.
Yeah, so far so good. We've got 2 really scrappy teams going at it this series, and I'm game for it. I like it. I'm down for some Game 3 shenanigans here, if we can so have them happen. But at the same time, BDE doing a fantastic job of like narrowing the gold lead a little bit. The extra grubs definitely scary, especially considering you got a Jinx hitting the tower and a Camille hitting the tower. So good grub game for those guys. Really glad they managed to get all 6 of them, and I'm much more impressed with how the team is playing around Ziggy's strengths instead of forcing Ziggy to make hero plays.
Yeah. Speaking of maybe some hero plays. Maybe not a hero, more of a horse. Hecarim does walk in, does a little bit of damage, pushes away the enemy jungler, as now Hyperion have set themselves up around this next Drake, but it's not super secure. It looks like they're starting it. J4 and Azir walking down there, and will, they'll sort of dissuade it. Looks like it's still leashed, but we're looking at Maokai right now, who is taking a fight with Camille and losing as the true damage comes out. Now the Drake. We're going to get a look at this Drake fight as Hecarim. Yeah, no vision down. No gamble will be taken, as that will just be a slain Chemtech going over to Ziggy. 2 Drakes go to side of Hyperion.
Camille can actually... No, Camille doesn't want to go for the dive there. They might not
Yeah,
have known where Jarvan was at the end of the play there. I don't know if they knew if Jarvan was trying to set up to contest, but
Yeah,
Man,
I
that
think
was a kill for
he,
Indigo if he wanted it.
I think, yeah, I think Jarvan dropped flag, but, you know, perhaps Indigo's a little too afraid of those caster minions, you know, after what they did last time. You know, it's maybe a little too scary. I would be afraid for my life if I died to caster minions like that. I would never trust them again. That aside, game still very much in Hyperion's favor. They have the first 2 Drakes, they got all 6 grubs. Now they're starting up the Herald,
Oh,
which
Zero, don't go to the
will...
wall.
Yes, yeah, Zir, he's fine. Camille's gonna dive over the wall. Now J4 is gonna get ultimatumed, and that will be another kill going to Indigo there. And with no jungler on the map, this Herald will certainly go to Ziggy. And yeah, another objective, another kill going over to Hyperion.
Yeah, Tilla's auto-spacing on the Jinx here. A lot better than the last game. He's utilizing the range advantage you get from Fishbones. Yeah, you could call it a crutch, but you know, not everybody can actually do it. And you know, I'm pretty happy with how it's been going. Braum standing in lane pretty well here. Having brush control, might not be aware of the fact that it's warded, but just brave as all hell. But Moonlight, I'm really happy with how Moonlight's been performing this time. Doing a lot better than that last game. The Nautilus might just not fit in their thing, you know?
Yeah, Nautilus is... You think Nautilus is the easiest champ in the game, but there is a bit of nuance to playing Nautilus. He's not just, you know, plug and play. Even if it feels super easy, there are a lot of little things you need to do, and especially you have to remember that Nautilus is made of tinfoil. His armor is, you know, it's not steel. It's like aluminum. It's very, very weak, especially early in the game. And now we do have J4 looking for a Cataclysm, gonna be flashing on to Jinx. No flash from Attila will mean the death. And now here comes Braum. Here comes Indigo with the TP. Will try and trade something here, but it's now 4v2. Braum will almost certainly go down here from the autos of Kitticus. But now Camille's looking to try and trade something. Maybe going to try and trade the Hextech Ultimatum. Dodges out the knockup from J4. And enough time has been bought that Nico has arrived. Dion does have the Pop Blossom, does have that ultimate. Here comes Hecarim. Here he's going in. Onslaught of Shadows will dive on to the back line. And that will now be 2 going down here. J4 will be left on their lonesome, but Hecarim's still fast. The root will land, and that'll be another kill. 3 going into Dion in that one.
And this is exactly what I wanted to see. The jungle mid duo that's getting onto the map first, or making a successful counterplay here, has been showing a lot of success. I shouldn't even say getting there first, because honestly, as Hecarim's gonna die and completely discredit... No, he's gonna live! Wait, he took a bad path. MF could have definitely turned that.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Horse live. Horse live.
So Ziggy has been counter ganking quite well, and I think that was actually the benefit of Kevin's gameplay, game 1. Getting into plays and disrupting them with Zinzao ultimate was a lot of the reason why the game got so out of control. Just these junglers have been kind of positioning for control of this bot lane throughout the series so far, which Misfortune looking pretty good right now, despite the rest of his team having a little bit of trouble. Kitticus actually playing pretty well. This one of his deaths is the result of like teleport into Hextech Ultimatum, and it's like he XD. What are you supposed to do about that? And the other death was that tragic level 1/2 thing. But since then, Kitticus been showing up to make the plays, showing up in positioning very carefully, and I think Kitticus has potential to do something here, but keep in mind just how absolutely dummy tanky this Hyperion team is, and you've got access to the Braum wall to be even more problematic. Honestly, I don't see a way that BDE's comp successfully does damage to Hyperion as the game goes on. Let's see if Camille survives this though.
Yeah, Camille could trade back, does have Maokai trapped in the ultimatum, but will be trapped in the Cataclysm here. So now J4 is just gonna attack the turret and die.
I don't think he noticed
Does
that he was taking aggro.
I don't think it was noticed either. No.
Yeah, I'm
As
pretty sure
here comes
Maokai's
the Super
gonna
Mega Death Rocket. Ooh! Maokai's the best champion in the game. I'm always saying this. I'm always saying Maokai's the best, and the sapling slows Nico down. I'm always saying Maokai's dead.
Still the best.
He's still the best champion in the game, but does get taken down there as 3 players are on top side. Gonna be taking this outer turret from BDE here as Hyperion continue their siege on the map. Rocky gonna recall here, might get discovered, will not. So yeah, this is just gonna be a buff taken. The blue buff, the super powered Baron blue buff, which means this is just an extra objective sniped away from BDE. And it's these little things that could lead to their demise, as with your boy Kevin on bot side and no vision, they've decided to do a really early Baron.
Yeah, going for the immediate 20-minute Baron. They've got a good gold lead here, looking like almost 6K at some points here. Definitely want to snowball here. They don't have to, but honestly, putting their thumb down and putting a stamp on this series, giving themselves the momentum. If they struggle to win this game, then I can see BDE having a mental comeback. But just think about the absolute mental game that goes on here after getting such a dominating early win and then struggling to do anything so far this game. BDE is going to be in a position where it's like, okay, well, what do we do now? Do we have to? How do we get our early game prowess back from the first game? Do we have to change something in draft? Do we just take advantage of counterpick like they have? Do we think red side is the problem? So many things are going to be going on in your head that if you have a game where you have these comeback mechanics and it's close, then it's a little easier to deal with. Hello, Caster Nico.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Little Caster, or you kill that ward, little Caster. But yeah, if Hyperion can just close it out super hard, BDE is not going to feel great going into the last game of the series. And I know I'm talking like we're assuming that it's going to be Hyperion winning here, but I mean, they're in a position where it's very hard to come back from at this point.
Yeah.
Their composition
and I mean,
scales, they have better side lane control, and they just they win in all facets at this point.
Yeah, it definitely is from this position a tough sell for BDE to come back into the game. Similar to last game, it's just they don't necessarily have the items yet. Maokai does have the Sunfire completed, but still doesn't have that Fimbulwinter, which will, or it will be a Fimbulwinter when it is purchased. Doesn't quite have we don't have the Frozen Heart yet onto J4. We don't have the presume whatever item Azir is going for next. The only champion who is at that 2-item point is Kidicus. And that is a solid 2-item place to be. And if you're going to want anybody to have that gold, it will be the Misfortune. But yeah, it's because of Braum's shield, unfortunately, Misfortune isn't going to be the kind of champion that will win you the game alone. You need so much to go in your favor, and this is definitely not going to go in your favor, as J4 will get blasted away by Dione in the Raptors there. As with the jungler down, Camille's going to just look to trade onto Azir, will get shoved back. Hextech Ultimatum dodges the soldiers, will trade 1-for-1 there. Camille will go down, and that was not a shutdown, but it was a takedown on the Azir. You know, keeping Giraffe Rider off the map is probably not terrible, at the very least.
Yeah, Giraffe Rider's been getting denied CS a lot. They're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm kind of the opinion that it might be worth trying to take tower gold at this point and full commit to the side lanes if you're BDE. Try to take top tower, try to take bot tower, forfeit mid inhibitor. I know it sounds crazy. Try to forfeit mid inhibitor and then funnel gold into the Azir. Give the Azir the tools that he needs to be successful, because Giraffe Rider is just very slowly being choked out of access to the game. It's quite tragic, as we see the mask, which it builds into more than just Leandry's now, right? Wounds or something? I
I
don't remember.
think there's an extra item it builds into now, but I can't be too sure.
At the same time, I like Nico's adaptation. Most Nicos are like, me go burst, me burst champion. But this Nico build, Malignance is a choice, but Leandry's, I think, is really cool. HP stackers taking % HP damage is really good. I also don't know the mechanics of Malignance as much as I would like to, so I'm going to go ahead and trust that Dion's build is correct and good. Mostly because I think Leandry's is dope.
Yeah, I do like the Leandry's on Azir. You want that damage. I do like the Leandry's on Nico because I just like Leandry's. I've always liked Leandry's. It's a fun. There are some items where, for me at least, I will build them just because I like them. Right?
I'm a I love Bork.
Yeah, Bork's cool. I've always liked Leandry's. I like items that have random burn on them. I think is very funny. I've always been an Imperial Mandate truther. I think that's probably one of my favorite items. And you can tell because I love Maokai. My favorite horrendous build when I play Maokai is I like to go Leandry's with Imperial Mandate and First Strike and just collect a bunch of gold from saplings. which is very funny. I do not play Teemo, no.
I don't believe you.
I actually do. I do like to play Teemo because I do. It's the same fun experience.
Just watching people tick away slowly. It's such a good feeling.
It's very thrilling. I do play Brand. Brand's one of my favorite support champs.
I kind of got into it from. I like to play Lilia. Lilia's pretty dope. You just Lilia burns everybody slowly, and you're just kind of like running around spamming laugh while running circles around people. It's just like it's the greatest feeling. Sometimes you just play stuff not because it's good, but because like it feels cool.
Yeah, it gives you that kind of rush, that emotional feeling. That's really what League is all about, is having a good time. Who's not having a good time though is Bean, who is just continuing to get shredded by the Camille in topside over and over again, just relentlessly, as this Baron will once again go to Hyperion. That will be the second of theirs they have picked up. And with the Dragon Soul, with the Baron, you start to wonder if this game is on its last legs, as BDE running out of time to get into a winning position here. Their base is getting cracked. Their champions are not reaching those power spikes fast enough, and their tanks are dying so fast as well. So we'll just have to wait and see.
As we actually just get a little bit of poke damage. I mean, we're kind of at the point where we're just like waiting for them to end the game and try to just like execute a finishing play. But with 3 minutes left on Elder Drake, with a little bit of wave clear and safety on Azir Misfortune, we're not really seeing plays get forced because BDE is doing a fantastic job of just cocooning themselves around the outside of their towers without giving up anything else. So as long as we don't see any inhibitors go down, they're probably safe. And it's kind of hard to execute a dive on a team that's got so many counter-engage tools, honestly. So
Yep.
you're going to see a war of attrition go on here. I mean, there can come a point where BDE could turn a play with like a good wombo combo on a mispositioned team. It is likely in this in this type of environment, but at the same time, like, I want to give credit to Hyperion because they are playing very well as a team this season. They are a top team, and I think that these guys have practiced enough that they are capable of executing a 1-3-1 and like slow crashing towers until objectives are up.
Yeah, and I think that we are going to see some very controlled play. Am I able to be heard, by the way?
Are you? Yeah.
Okay, cool. You're asking, are you? It's like, oh god, am I okay?
OBS. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So yeah, it is definitely going to be very controlled here. They have the waves in great spots. They are able to just get this slow siege in, and they have the champions to execute on this slow siege as well. So it's just going to be a matter of choking out BDE in all parts of the map. And it's going to be up to BDE to kind of just weather the storm and see if they can't claw something back here. But as you said early on, it's because they fell so far behind. These champions just don't lend themselves very well to having the damage to come back into the game. I mean, J4 at this point is a CC. He makes a wall happen, and then he's a melee minion. And he's about to be killed like a melee minion right here, as he'll try and flash away. The bullet time is really good, but it's just not enough damage coming into the Hyperion roster, who are continuing the assault. This Hecarim, he's fast, he's furious, he's looking to cut through the front side of BDE, as Maokai will stay alive ever so slightly as the exhaust goes down. HP bar is so low. Braum walking away so low, but Camille's at full health, and she's cracking an inhib on top side, and that will be a major part of the base in shambles here, as now the Elder Drake is alive, and it will be a reset and a take almost certainly for Hyperion.
I absolutely love seeing the IBS El Clasico fall flat on its face. I think a lot of teams rest on their laurels by drafting the we pick 5 R buttons, let us win kind of strategy. So seeing teams snowball like this and then make the R buttons look so sad, because like you said, that MF ult was pretty good. Like, she got most of the charges of bullet time, had to cancel a little early because of Hecarim flank, and it just didn't matter. Kitticus just so far behind. Even sitting on 3 items, being technically even with Jinx, is at a point where like those 3 items value is like nothing compared to Jinx's 3 item value. Jinx went for, in my opinion, like probably the strongest variation of her build right now after the nerfs to static shift, and this Jinx is just not gonna get weaker. Hecarim's not gonna get easier to kill. Nico's never gonna die, and Camille is about to become an absolute menace. Like, once Camille can 2v1 a lane, there's nothing BDE can do.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for BDE to even make anything happen. Honestly, you could argue at this point it's next to impossible. It would require Hyperion. At this point, it requires Hyperion to literally start sprinting it down, which I don't think that, based on how they've played right now, and with the Baron, with this Elder Drake, based on their play, they're not in the mood to sprint it down. They're in the mood to clean this game up and tie up the series. But they're going to have to step away here. They're just looking to... They don't want to overextend.
They just pull the damn trigger, though.
Yeah, I feel like...
Elder, let's go.
Yeah, I feel there's a difference between, you know, controlled play and just playing a little too respectfully and wasting your time and wasting your buffs. They do have a wave coming in topside, so they will be looking to play off of that. Braum actually took a huge amount of poke there from the Azir. We'll have to step back. Yeah, Giraffe Rider putting out a lot of pressure here, and yeah, I guess this is where what they're afraid of is this Azir, but this Azir has had so much time to just free fire because they aren't pulling the trigger, and somehow they only lose an inhib for BDE, and Hyperion are going back to the Baron. We're like, okay, this one, we'll win the game with this one, for sure.
What if the reason I haven't received a third roster file is because somehow BDE is doing, and you and I are witnessing the end of the series with the throw. Here it comes as the Baron gets shredded to bits. I'm very clearly kidding. Maybe we're going to have another really long banger. Maybe that's why I haven't gotten the raffle file for Game 3 yet. But
maybe.
Thanks everyone for sticking with us. I know the streams have gone very late the last 2 weeks. Riot is a friendly indie company that everybody loves to work with.
Yes.
As we work diligently to fix our spectator bugs.
Yeah, and surely they'll get fixed. So, you know, the people who are, you know, working and then also casting amateur leagues, and then have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, don't have to suffer. Not that I'm speaking from experience or anything, but I'm looking at my alarm right now, and my alarm is those hours slowly disappearing from my sleep.
My alarm still does say 6:30 a.m.
Yep, it's not changing. Woohoo! Haha!
Please.
Yeah,
Yo, Indigo, do your old teammate a homie, friend move, and int the game away so we can go to bed.
Yeah. Just let's lose the game here, just real quick.
Triple in Hyperion. Surely this is us ending the game now, right? Camille going.
Yeah. Camille's gonna be going for the hook shot. Braum is actually gonna die here right away. The Cataclysm will go in onto Hecarim, trap him in a cage, but that Nico ultimate was incredible right there. The Onslaught of Shadows will dip into the backside, will start cutting through those members as your boy Kevin will try and trade something back, will go down. Jinx is going to get excited, but will fall next. Azir will fight out as much as they can, and that was as good of a fight as you could have expected, but just not enough, as BDE will fall and Hyperion ties up the series.
And that is gonna be us going to game 3, Becky. We're gonna have to see
Hooray.
if we get this DM with the draft link. It looks like I might have actually gotten it while we were talking. I at least see the draft law link, so we'll be able to go over that in just a moment. But before we do, let's talk about what went better this time and use that to understand a little bit more about what we can expect from our Game 3 draft. Honestly,
go ahead. Okay. What I think went better is just the early game, I think, was much more in favor of the side of Hyperion. They had better early lanes, and I think a lot of it came down to Ziggy played exceptionally well and made sure that they were keeping up with J4, they were preventing J4 from getting a lot done, and when J4 falls behind, again, he's a melee minion. He's very useless. So it's honestly just much better execution from the side of BDE, I would say. I'm noticing my camera freezing constantly. I love being at red ping. It's very good.
Yeah, it's been great having these very technical issues that I've totally been able to control. It might honestly be my fault. When my network crashed, it left the Video Ninja link up for anybody who understands how Video Ninja works. My video feed was in it. Video Ninja died when I restarted my computer, so I don't really know why we still have cameras right now, but I can't turn mine off. So
it's magic. It's magic.
So that being said, we've got a Game 3 coming out. We've got the draft law completed. I think it might be worth you and I taking a short breather, get some water, get ourselves a quick trip to the bathroom if we need, and then we'll get ourselves into the draft and the subsequent game for Game 3 once we've retrieved the raffle file. How's that sound, Becky?
That sounds alright to me.
Alright, cool. Well, we're going to go ahead and go to our very first actual quick intermission between games. We're going to Game 3, everybody. Get out the silver scrapes, because we're going right into it.
Give me some of that good stuff! What's up? Boom! 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. Get on the bus, let's go!
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dory K, and we've actually got Becky going to bed from the Diamond stream. Joining you back in gold is Rylion once again. Welcome back.
Hello, hello. Love to be here. And I'm glad that we actually got to do this because the Gold League is definitely where I feel more at home. And I missed seeing the Jinx. I'm not going to lie. Surprisingly, there has been no Jinx play in the Diamond League at all. And I don't think it was banned out. Didn't really focus too much on that. Yeah, we were just quick with it. We just talked about the actual rosters. So I don't even think Jinx was banned out. I can double check just in case. I might be over speaking, so don't quote me on that. But go check out the VOD because it was some pretty awesome gameplay. But the fact that it was able to come through after seeing what Jinx was doing in the game 2, because I was watching game 2 there, are you surprised to see it in game number 3? Has it been in every single game so far?
It's only been in the second and now third game. We see Jinx as B1, which is quite honestly a very powerful B1, especially as you get lower here into gold. You've got a lot of teams that like to build heavy tank frontline like compositions, don't coordinate their dives as well as you do in some of the higher elos, so Jinx is able to free fire a little bit better. With the removal of Gale Force, I can see why high elo players would be like a little more timid about picking Jinx, even though she is admittedly very powerful right now. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I like seeing it. Jinx is a cool champion. She gets excited. She is in the TV show, so.
Yeah, that's true. We've seen her on TV and the Vi as well. And I like the combo happening from the blue side here. And once again, that's going to be BDE is going to be on red, and Hyperion is going to be on blue, just like in game number 1 there. And just the lockdown that they also possess on Hyperion here in game number 2 between the Vi, Camille, Leona. You know, that's just a lot of heavy engage, a lot of like single priority target focus that they have as well. But it also surprisingly sets up very well in the team fight aspect. And you know, I know we're focused kind of a lot on Hyperion right now, so let's take a little transition to the red side. How do you feel about this comp though coming into game 3? Is it a game 3 winning comp in your opinion?
Based on how Hyperion has been playing, it's got the tools that it needs to be a winning composition. It's got a highly proactive support. Moonlight had a hard time in game 1 being active on the Nautilus, was caught with his pants down in bad positions a few times, and I think pairing up with Ziggy has been what makes Hyperion successful. So I think being able to enable Leona to make plays around the map while putting Jinx in a safe position is good. But that being said, we're seeing either a Set or a Maokai support. BDE is one of those teams that does this weird stuff. Maokai could be top. Rek'Sai was a pinnacle top laner, is still a pretty good top laner even after the nerfs. But Rek'Sai could be jungle top. Maokai could be jungle top support for this team. Set could be top jungle support for this team. BDE likes to just flex stuff for the sake of flexing stuff, so I mean, shit, man, just throw the table. Like,
Season 14 in a nutshell, literally right there, encapsulates just anyone can literally go anywhere, and we're not really going to know until we see the actual lock-ins and then get into game, obviously. But best guess, I mean, for you here, I mean, if you had to build the roster, what are you estimating is the red side, BDE, for game 3 here?
Oh, I guess I could just look at it. It appears to be Set top, Rek'Sai jungle, and Maokai support. Maokai support is what I was worried about. So Twisted Advance coupled with Misfortune, so basically level 6 and on, or even in level 3 scenarios, Jinx could be in danger if she's not using max range Fishbones. Luckily, Attila's done a pretty good job of that, as Becky so eloquently pointed out in game 2. You definitely want to enable Moonlight to be active, but you also don't want to make Jinx susceptible to dives. So at level 6, you want to be careful about that. Play around your wave bounces pretty well. I know we're in the elo where we can't talk about that as much, but they kind of just naturally do it sometimes, maybe. So we'll see how Attila plays it. Like, he's not horrible. Like, he kind of gets it, so we're good. But I think Rek'Sai, super active early game jungler as well. Hwei, really easy to gank into. Hwei, great scaling. Definitely solves the scaling issue that BDE suffered from last game. So I think that the comps are a lot more even this time around. And I'm looking forward to a banger.
Absolutely. And I mean, I saw the Azir in the mid lane last game coming in from BDE, and I was like, wow, okay, they're impressive. They're doing a lot of damage. I was looking at the farm as well, was looking pretty well for BDE throughout. It was just the deficit in the hyper carry that is Jinx that is being pulled out again from Hyperion. And that, I think, is just like going to be the biggest, most difficult part of Hyperion's, composition that BDE has to deal with. But we can speculate all day long. We're never going to know until we view everything here. I don't know if we're just going to hop right into the game or what you want to do here, but all right, let's go ahead and get that bad boy thrown on up there. Absolutely.
Game on. Here we go. On to the Rift. We've got our BDE versus Hyperion Gaming battle for the top of the bracket. BDE, Typhoon, and Hyperion again. Both very strong teams. Both only boasting, I think, one loss. Hyperion has one series loss. I don't remember. Typhoon might be the undefeated team, actually. I think Typhoon's the undefeated team. So Hyperion has an opportunity to hand Typhoon a loss. They have an opportunity to secure control of the top of the table, secure their own fate going into the last couple weeks of the regular season. But at the same time, your boy Kevin and Giraffe Rider probably battling with Ziggy, Dion Atlas as the strongest mid-jungle duo in the league, and it's honestly been off of the momentum of these junglers that this series has been swung on.
Yeah, jungling is like absolutely one of the most impactful roles here, I think, for Season 14. If you just don't have a jungler, especially with the grubs that are being added, and then, of course, all the different dragons that have been added over the last couple of seasons here, like, neutral objectives are pretty much key to winning games here. You can go and be, 3-10, 3-15. If you have all Drakes, if you have all neutral objectives, you could just win the game just off that alone. So, and having that huge impact, especially on these two types of junglers, the Rek'Sai and the Vi here, both definitely want to gank early. They are pretty much all in types of junglers, so it's just going to be about spacing, and if they can get that priority target damage, they're set for life.
As we go and watch Vi do a little bit of kitey kite, doing a little bit of efficient pathing here. You've got them sitting on 4 CS each. They're about to finish their third camp, both pathing bot to top, so you're looking at mirrored clears. So are they going to have another situation as they had in the first 2 games, where the better jungler at the first counter gank got all the momentum in the world and got the early game off to a good start?
I mean, with Camille not having flash and being susceptible to the Rek'Sai ganks, because there's more spacing now in the top side than there was in previous seasons. It's really like a whole island. So she's actually a little bit better as a support player right now currently than a top laner, because those walls are a little bit closer for her to jump to, get the stuns off, and, the combos that Camille's do. And, and that makes it a little bit more difficult now that everything's a little bit further away. And Rek'Sai, is able to get into your face pretty quickly. You have the knockups, plus Set's able to pull right into, so setting up that combo is going to be very easy for them to do. But yeah, that laning, that is going to be a little bit of a problem for Set. Camille's really good at just those duels, even though the walls are a little bit further apart. But, having no flash, it might be, I think, like a potential nail in the coffin here for Hyperion, so we have to be mindful of that. Other than that, spells and runes and masteries and everything else across the board, pretty common, or oh, okay, I can see what they're going with on that one,
Yeah, we see Twisted Advance becoming available for your boy Kevin, so look to see that play possibly happen as the trade comes out on the top side. The grab just barely being missed. Indigo playing on the edge of these engages, possibly from Bean MG, and this is looking so far so good. Both of these players playing really powerful comfort picks for themselves. Both mid laners being on powerful comfort picks for themselves. Jungle, same deal, being on champions that they are known for playing right now. In this bot lane, I mean, Kiticus is pretty comfortable on the Misfortune, but let's see if Kiticus can have a better showing this time around as Camille takes the tower shot. Vi going for the skirmish within the river. Which mid laner is going to rotate first? We're not 100% sure here.
It's funny watching the junglers, oh, hold on 1 second, some action on the bot.
As we see Misfortune taking a little bit of damage, the Ignite goes down, heal comes down in response, but Jinx going to have to walk away as the exhaust gets sent down in response. Both supports trading very well, but the hookshot coming out. The Haymaker goes down, but it doesn't matter. Camille's shield gives first blood over to Indigo. Ignite coming down and securing that kill, but keep an eye on Jinx on the other side of the map. Jinx is very low on mana, low on HP. If Maokai gets this Twisted Advance, we could see another fight here.
Yeah, and I think he definitely wants to do it. The Ghost is already gone here for Attila, and they know that. Still has Flash available, and Leona is just waiting on the River's Bend as well. Has Flash available, and Misfortune definitely doesn't want to play out, doesn't want to play out at all. She's very immobile, can be locked down quite easily, especially by someone with a lot of CC like Leona, so playing it safe here is definitely the move. CS-wise, looking at everybody, it is in favor of Hyperion right now, and with the First Blood, they are at a slight gold lead between the two teams, but nothing that's like overkill or anything that's going to give him any kind of super advantage. Except for that Sheen in the top side. Definitely a problem there for Bean, and Bean is just not able to get those pulls, like just really, like you said, like tiptoeing that line Indigo is able to do, and Bean's just not able to get those pulls in, or else I think he could have probably gotten an early kill there. But the grasp and that Sheen proc is going to be a very difficult combo to deal with, as the laning phase continues here at 6 minutes. But
yeah, like you said, we've got an early lead coming out. It's not quite as aggressive as it was. Believe it or not, it's not quite as aggressive as it was this point in either of the first 2 games. As Rek'Sai goes for a little trade here, Leona going to be forced to walk away. But Rek'Sai not currently sitting on a base yet. Kevin has been clearing pretty well, has 33 CS already, managed to get a hold of that early dragon, so we're not seeing the snowballing team in kills necessarily snowball the dragons this time around. So we might see a little bit longer played game. Dragon control might be seated as the Camille taking a little bit of a trade here. Haymaker does finally land, and Set does have to play into a large wave, has to disengage from the play. Wei, having to walk away, is able to pop the shield with, I'm not even going to try to remember the name of Wei's abilities.
All 45 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you in this bit.
I'm going to call this one Macaroni Art, alright? The shield is Macaroni Art.
I'll accept that. Macaroni Art, I mean, makes as much sense as any new champion that's come out in the last, like, year and a half, 2 years here. But, Atlas forced to flash out of the gank earlier there, and Giraffe kind of getting hit a little bit by Ziggy. That was a good move. He already burned Flash earlier. They weren't able to get any kind of damage or any kind of kills. And at 7 minutes, is this a slower paced game than what we've seen in the first 2 games here?
Absolutely. With less than a 1k gold lead going down to one of the teams already, the snowballing is not out of control. Camille does have a lead, but Set is willing to trade back. I do like seeing Bean MG willing to push the limits of his champion and be aggressive despite having that mishap earlier on in the laning phase. Camille, yes, is pulling ahead, but Hui is getting the fight back as Victor's ultimate comes out, is going to be able to poke down Hui, not going to be able to get the return kill. Is Rek'Sai going to get the dash out? Tremor Sense helps, but the flash comes out, doesn't have access to the ultimate, but the E itself does tons of damage at full fury, and Rek'Sai going to secure the return kill onto Dion Atlas.
The last second flash, right as soon as he got out of the tunnel for the knockup. I mean, that is just textbook Rek'Sai play down there. And Vi trying to make something happen, but a sapling does catch her out, notifies the Misfortune, who's just able to get her passive and boost right on out of there. And of course, Maokai on the precipice of hitting level 6, so no Nature's Grasp just yet for him, but that's just going to be another cushiony, blankety escape. For them, or at least a deterrent, a disengage, for BDE here. And 2-1, I'm liking the very slow-paced game, play here. Bot lane having a surprisingly slow matchup, despite the 2 very heavy engaged supports between Maokai and Leona. And, Jinx, if she's not dying, that's a victory. I don't care what anyone plays, what anyone says. If you play ADC, if you play Jinx, not giving up any deaths early, and you're just able to scale and keep on farming just like she's doing. She has a nice little 10 CS cushion consistently. I mean, this is like sweet, magnifique. I love it coming in here from Hyperion. BDE, they're matching kills. They're, a little bit falling behind in farm throughout the entirety of the board. We see in top lane about a 15 CS lead, but Set able to get these trades back on to Indigo there. So really across the board, we're looking at a pretty late game probably if they keep on playing like this.
Yeah, it's looking to be pretty back and forth. The gold lead still below 1,000. Hyperion does have the advantage, though, this game, and the team that has started the snowball has been successful throughout this series. That being said, still up in the air. Let's see what happens in the mid lane here. We've got the Vault Breaker coming down Cease and desist, not going to be able to get anything out of it. Giraffe Rider getting the flash blown, so there is a chance that that cease and desist cooldown will be utilized to get a kill on the mid lane. Way being bullied a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, and knowing that the flash is just fresh on cooldown, I mean, you're asking for repeat ganks 100% from this point, and if Ziggy does not take advantage of that, they are going to be missing out heavily over the next 5 minutes of this cooldown. And cease and desist is what, like a 90-second CD at level 1. You know, I definitely would be waiting a minute and a half and saying, okay, get a stun ready, and I'm coming right back in the lane, and this time we're absolutely getting the kill. Ulti is available from Victor. There's no excuse as to why Ryder should be alive here in the next about 2 minutes, you know, roughly.
Yeah, and I know the former state of the... we actually are going to see a play from Rek'Sai, but if it doesn't happen, as the Twisted Advance comes out, I'm totally full of crap. Leona getting hit here, but the return of the bullet time cancel. Leona going to try to be kited out here. Leona gets the flash out to safety, but Hwei going to drop the long-range macaroni art as the Rek'Sai ultimate comes out and finishes it off. Good job, your boy Kevin, for turning it around. Got the wave stacking up. Jinx might not survive for too much longer. Out comes Attila. Attila dodges out the tunnel. I don't know if he dodged it or if your boy Kevin missed, but at that point, that's a double kill for your boy Kevin, and that's exactly what Game 1 looked like for him. Blue team slaying the Void Grubs on the upper side of the map, so they're going to have to trade for the Dragon. 2 going down. We're going to find out exactly what soul we're going to get this game. What are the soul ramifications here, Rylion, as soon as we see it secured? It looks like Mountain. What do we think of Mountain Soul?
Mountain, I mean, that's going to add to the already heavy shields that they have on the side of BDE between the set, you know, Maokai as well. That's going to add to the tankiness in the frontline aspect, and that's also going to add to the survivability of the Rek'Sai, who's 3-0, by the way. You know, so that's a lot of eggs in one basket, especially on a kind of squishy assassin-like character. So he definitely has to make sure that they, you know, don't give up that 300 gold bounty, you know, and put him in a better position. I mean, gold, even though they're ahead in kills by just 1, they're actually still down in gold overall just because of that CS lead between the top and the mid and just everyone on the side of Hyperion. And, you know, kills aren't everything. You know, jungle objectives and CS is definitely where victories are made here in League of Legends. And right now, BDE securing these dragons, if they're able to get the Mountain Soul, you know, fresh and early 20 minutes, they're getting it on cooldown right now and wait. Hot lane action.
Yeah, we actually see another hookshot come out, managed to dodge the Haymaker with the ultimate, but Camille doesn't have anything to save him. He manages to get the second proc! Cho'Gath on your Q! Gets the kill! And yet again, Indigo just barely lives by the skin of his teeth. There's probably a grass proc or 2 in that fight alone that kept him alive. And, you know, I'm not even going to flame him for going grass all the time anymore. It works for him, and he managed to survive that fight without the Conqueror. But my god, that Ignite. Out comes the Ghost. Jinx going to be forced to drop down the traps. Teleport coming down from Indigo on the backside. Coming down from Beyond Atlas as well. The flank coming out. BNMG in response coming in. But Camille's going to secure the kill before BNMG can arrive. You've got 5 members of Hyperion funneling into the jungle. Not Try Brush. Dorito Brush is going to be taken down, but Cease and Desist going to kill this way. Remember, he has no flash. Leona getting pulled under tower. Going to get the return kill. Is Miss Fortune going to survive? The Ignite is ticking. She is going to go down to the backside. So Moonlight manages to secure the kill, but they do have low health bars. Jinx standing still to throw the laser beam. Isn't going to die until the Rek'Sai channels ultimate. Rek'Sai going to walk away. Camille getting the Cho'Gath Q onto the Cho'Gath R onto set, and there he goes, executed. He is Victor. Wonderful flash coming out from Dion Atlas, managed to survive here, and then shut down for the Victor. And all that work that your boy Kevin had done to get himself so fed and get his team a little bit of an advantage, just taken completely away because the champion you do not want to give Hex Core stacks just got all of their Hex Core stacks and is also getting a shutdown here. Flash being blown here. Maokai gonna barely miss, but Hwei is not. And this game is very, very hectic all of a sudden.
take a moment, get some much-deserved water, because there's a lot to break down during all that. And that extremely elongated team fight. I mean, there was a lot of back and forth. Great positioning, great answers from BDE on the engage, from the Leona, the Vi, and everything. But the Camille is really the difference maker here. Picking up now 5-0, and God, hold on. Leona, do not walk into something that you cannot see. The Maokai CC, along with the Hui damage, might be a little bit too much.
You know, I was just going to let you go, but this is actually turning into an extended skirmish. Leona not going to go down. Camille getting the dash off. You see Super Mega Death Rocket just kind of flying off to the side there. Set coming down with the ultimate. Leona going to finally tick down, or is she? W procs. Okay, there we go. Maokai lane onto the side. Rek'Sai has fully stacked Rage, though. Is Camille going to survive? Camille has a 600 gold shutdown. You don't want to just give away. Vi not going to be able to secure the kill. And the shield comes up. Indigo is dominating. That is a ton of damage. I mean, Hui just barely missing there. Camille being played to perfection. People are still not banning this Camille from Indigo. Why?
No, they are not. If this is the consistent Indigo play, then they are ready for the Indigo League and the whole entire Elite Four there. I mean, I'm absolutely appalled. 6-0, 700 gold shutdown available on Indigo. They're doing absolutely phenomenal here. I mean, the positioning, the kiting, you know, knowing the limits of this champion and going and able to just push that a little bit further to secure these kills. I mean, they're doing everything and anything that they need for this victory here. Hyperion, you know, like you said, they are 3-1, and BDE Typhoon is the undefeated champs coming into tonight's game. And Hyperion said, you know what? Even gods bleed, and we're going to prove that here tonight. So, you know, game number 3, this is for all the marbles, and as we enter the 15-16 minute mark, you know, Jinx, even though she's 0-2-5, you know, being able to have that Camille as the main front line, and the Leona, and the Vi there, and the positioning that she's able to do, even if she's not getting the kills, the impact from these rockets are going to just be phenomenal. And we said the Mountain Soul was going to be pretty big if the side of BDE was able to get it, but a lot can happen in 5 minutes here, as BDE is nowhere even close to being able to contest anything that is this dragon. And if they're able to secure 4 mountain dragons, that's not even we didn't even discuss that before. We just said Mountain Drake, and since they already have 2, BDE gets another 2. But 4 mountains, that is a lot of defense to add there to a very tanky Leona and a very shieldy Camille there in the top side. Like, this is setting up to be a phenomenal, if it even gets to a late game, you know, for Hyperion here, and get that first, you know, defeat, to give that first defeat on over to BDE.
Yeah, and they're in the position to do it. Jinx isn't even fed. Jinx isn't even the one who's got the lead. Camille is just like untouchable. And just watch this. She's going to go down and kill the set. He's going to get a haymaker off, but it's going to do a little bit of damage. The ignite comes down, and Camille is just going to laugh in his face while he hook shots and Cho'Gath ults him right to the face. I keep referring to it as a Cho'Gath ult. Obviously, you can see how much damage it does, that second proc, the true damage. You know, like, Set can build all the health he wants. It's not really going to matter. In fact, he's building a Borg.
He is going Borg. I mean, I guess it's just to get his passive offer is what, his Q. You know, his 3 hits as often as possible. And he has the slow coming from the Stride Breaker, so adding that with the Blade of the Ruined King. But there's not really a whole lot that the Blade's going to help you with when it comes to the 7-0 Camille. He needs to stop fighting, putting himself in these positions. He's not winning any of the 1v1s at all at this point. You know, and has to rely on maybe potential a 1v or 2v3, but wow, heavy engage from Maokai here into the bullet time. And that is a dead Victor.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what they have to do if they want to be successful in this game. If they want to claw their victory back from the claws of defeat, is make these plays on the opposite side of the map. And at the same time, Hui actually going for this all in, just barely misses the kill onto Attila. And Giraffe Rider just kind of reminding you, like, hey, we're behind, but, like, I'm still Hui.
That is true. And your boy Kevin actually getting the kill and that 400 gold shutdown from the Victor kill down on the bot side. A nice Q over the wall. Cease and desist focus onto the Hui and a solar flare. Go ahead, my friend.
That looked fantastic. You could not have done it better there, Rylion. Wonderful. And we have the teleport in response here. Rek'Sai being stunned, stopped out of their tunnel, not going to be able to get the CC off, but Victor teleport is going to stop any counter engage coming out from Kevin. Set going to finally try to get some damage onto Camille, but it's just absolutely nothing. Camille doesn't even need any kind of shield breaking weapon. Because she just does enough true damage that it just doesn't matter. And you see Set just under so much fire, you don't know how to respond. Rek'Sai on the flank looking for the engage. Jinx, for some reason, jumping on the Herald. It worked out for him, but Set going for the ultimate, gets the Haymaker in response, but the Hextech ultimatum coming out, and the shutdown going down on to Indigo. In response as well, you've got Rek'Sai coming out, going for the engage here, has the ultimate, it's going to pop it onto Leona. Oh, that must have been a misclick. Oh, missed input, still gets the victory. He's going to actually still go down anyways, because he's just goated like that. Good job, Kevin. Vi being forced to run away, going to use the Vault Breaker to escape, and suddenly, game turned back on its head. Rylion, what the hell is going on? Break it down.
Suddenly 4 kills being picked up there, so 4 members down and a big shutdown. 1,000 gold being gifted on over to Bean on the set here. I mean, the showstopper into the Haymaker. Camille definitely getting cocky with her 7-0 status. Underneath tower, I mean, the barrage, and it does more and more damage the more and more tower shots that hit you consecutively there. And I think she just thought, doesn't matter. 5, 6, 8 tower shots. I'm Camille. I can survive this. I have shields. I have heals. I have everything. But as we saw there, the true damage and the shielding was superior with the tower damage, of course, coming in Set's behalf and being able to secure that while the rest of the team able to hold and secure the mid lane from being sieged. Jinx, like you mentioned, I think the disrespect was just kind of popping out a little bit, and I don't know if they're going to be making the same mistakes as before. You know, they're going to be kind of locked in gamer mode, hunched over a little bit, but Camille now finds herself in a 2v, now 3v1 potential, 4v1 with the misfortune. Hold the phone. This is big, and another shutdown being collected by Bean there. Back-to-back shutdowns, 1,400 gold just being gifted on over, and guess what? He has a little shutdown of his own, and like you said, the tide's turning. What was a 2k gold deficit is now a 600 gold lead in BDE's favor. That's insane.
Yeah, and now we need to talk a little bit about what the, I guess, circumstances of the game are now. Is Camille able to be so threatening in a side lane if she's going to continue to get shut down? Can we apply pressure in other parts of the lane, or other parts of the map, in order to allow Camille to be unlocked? Or are we going to continue to put Camille in these situations where she dies in isolation? Ryline, how do we balance these waves if we are Hyperion?
If we're Hyperion, I mean, we definitely have a level and damage advantage with Camille being in these team fights. I say we go in, make her go onto the back line, you know, focus the misfortune, make sure no bullet times are going to be coming out, and then get their damage out as quickly as possible. And these team fights here, Yep, Dragon is secured here by the blue side. Nice showstopper onto the back line, my friend. Go ahead, take it on. What else is going on?
Got Vi trying to survive here into the backside. Leona going to give her life for the team, my life for the cause. Flash coming out, Twisted Advance, going to secure the kill onto Vi. Oh, Vault Breaker going to make her last a little bit longer. Rek'Sai going to land the Void shot, and boom! Rek'Sai, Chris Kyle, Kevin over here managing to land himself a snipe, get himself the ultimate, and take down Attila in the backside. Attila not having a great game this time around. He started off alright, but he's not sitting on the kind of items he had before. His build is confusing me a little bit, and hopefully he can turn his game around, but it looks like he's going straight into the Lord
LDR?
Dominic's regard second item.
Yeah, maybe he's like, hey, Maokai, you know, getting a little bit tankier up there, is always going to be the front line, of course, with the advance and with the Nature's Grasp and just all the CC that comes with the Maokais. But, you know, I'm just a little bit shocked, I'm not going to lie. Camille had the ultimate, had the teleport. I don't even know if Camille was there for the dragon taking, which I think was like the biggest problem for the side of Hyperion. Hyperion ended up getting the dragon, but it did cost them a couple of their people here, and now the gold lead continues to grow here. It's a 2k gold lead in favor of BDE, so definitely not the look as, or what I thought was going to be occurring. Still securing the Mountain Drake was kind of big there for Hyperion, so it might have evened out a little bit, but still, this is anyone's game as we enter now the 23-minute mark, 16-13. 2K goal lead once again in favor of BDE. You know, you were asking what to do with the Camille, and I was going to say Camille needs to be in part of these team fights, needs to be locking down the Misfortune, you know, and hopping onto the back line. We didn't see it last time, and I just think because she was absent, I'm going to be completely honest, I have no idea where she was during that entire escapade that was going on. But, you know, that's just what needs to be done. If you do put her into the side lanes, I think she might have given a little bit too much for Set to come back and be able to duel her directly. You know, they're even in levels now. Look at all that health. Look at that monster. Yeah, she still smacks. He still has a little bit of a...
Ooh, they're going to start the Baron, though, Rylan.
Ah.
He's got Set channeling the teleport in. He's got the Showstopper available. He's going to walk on over, and Camille doesn't have the TP going down in response. He's going to commit for just this split push. If they can get control of this mid lane wave with the Victor wave clear, with the Jinx wave clear, they might be able to match this here. See what happens here. We got the Baron going down. They're going to try to contest. Vault Breaker coming out. There's a little split up. Maokai getting the Nature's Grasp into Twisted Advance. Jinx with the flash, but it's not going to matter. Flash comes down for Rek'Sai. Jinx down in the background. Showstopper coming out, but bullet time in response is going to be canceled by Vi. Vi using Vault Breaker to try to escape, but in the background you've got the Camille ultimate gonna almost secure the kill on Hui. It is gonna secure the kill on Hui, but Victor gonna be the last man standing. Unfortunately, Dion Atlas is the last one standing, and that's gonna be a triple kill and an ace for Kitticus. Great fight, good teleport flank coming out from BeamNG, and that Showstopper just showing the absolute mastery over his champion that Bean's got.
I mean, I know, okay, so I'm going to be a little bit hypocritical because, like, 90 seconds before this fight, I was just saying, you need to be a part of the team fights, but I mean, you need to be setting up with the team fights. Set teleported away from you to the Baron, and you had a giant wave pushing into their tier 2. You are strong enough, quick enough, you have a Trinity Force, you have all this damage. That tier 2, tier 3 impossible inhib would have been an absolute banger trade, even if they were to have secured Baron and gotten a team wipe and killed 4 of your team members. You opening and cracking open their base, you know, lessens the impact of the Baron, lessens the impact of losing 4 of your teammates, you know, and puts you guys in a slight advantage because Baron's only going to last, you know, I think for what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes here. The inhib lasts a lot longer. I think it's like 3 minutes of nothing but constant supers that are going to be pushing, and that allows you to either A, push on the opposite side of the map, because you had teleport available at that moment in time, and, you know, you can go ahead and do the same thing on top side. Now you have 2 lanes of supers potential, or an open base at least from 2 angles. So I just think the teleport was a little bit delayed from Indigo. You know, if you're going to be for that team fight, you need to be setting up way beforehand, not in the middle of the team fight when your Jinx is already dead and your team is scattered. It was a great ulti. You got the kill on the Hui, but 4 members while the rest of your team was dead, you know, able to focus you down. You have no peel. You have no extra support at all. It just wasn't the move, and I think that might have led to the demise, you know, and possible, you know, victory here for BDE. Look at this. They're just able to collapse and answer everything.
Again. You've got the Solar Flare coming down. Responds by trying to get the cease and desist, but it doesn't matter. When the team is behind like this now, there's nothing you can do. And BDE, another triple kill coming out for Kitticus. Indigo trying to survive here, but is going to get pulled out. Flash coming down from Maokai, and the quadra kill going down for Kitticus. Looking like a 1 game here, so long as they can get themselves a wave. They don't really know what to do. They've got the ace. They've got about 20 seconds before Jinx is even alive. 15 on Leona here. Are they going to go for the end with the Baron? It looks like they are. They've got control of this wave. Set is looking a little low. Doesn't have access to the teleport, but he is in fact set, and they're just going to shred the absolute crap out of this tower. That is going to be a series win coming out for BDE, Ryline.
Yes, indeed. Hyperion, I mean, you were so close to just ending the undefeated streak of BDE, literally on the precipice, the last step, and it was just one unfortunate step there that was mistaken, and that's all you need in the game that is League of Legends, especially at the 27-minute mark. Death timers at 30 seconds, they're just enough for them to go ahead and push down and end the game and take the series. I mean, I don't even want to give a credit to, like, BDE, you know, specifically. You know, it was just an unfortunate play by Camille. Camille was just absolutely a huge thorn in their side the entire time. And there was 2 mistakes, that last one being made at the Baron fight, and just not sticking, you're either going to commit to the push or you're going to commit to the team fight. And, having your time split up in between, allowing Set to go ahead and get those 2 shutdowns on you back to back as well. So technically 3 little issues there that just kind of put it back in favor of BDE. And then you saw the rest from there, my friend.
Yeah, and I mean, Hyperion definitely has a lot to look forward to. Despite losing this series, they have the potential to win these games out. They're able to snowball very well, and they're an incredibly scrappy team. So I'm excited to see what is inevitably going to be a banger playoff matchup if and probably when these guys see each other again.
Yes, indeed. And we hope to see them extremely, extremely soon. But what a series, though. I love me some Game 3 bangers, absolutely. Especially when they're this close of a Game 3, because the first 2 games don't matter at that point. They might as well have just never happened. And this might as well be a 1-game series. So, congratulations to BDE holding on to that undefeated streak here, entering into week number 7, I believe, correct?
That is absolutely correct. Going into week 7, we've got 3 weeks of regular season action left before we start seeing these guys go to playoffs. And it is shaping up to be quite the playoff picture, with a lot of these teams taking single game wins off of each other. Everyone showing that everyone can bleed. Like, even though Typhoon's undefeated, they lose games. They can lose games, and they are not immortal.
No. Not tonight, and this is actually their first loss game at all. They've 8-0
2-0'd until tonight.
Every single series up until tonight was 2-0, at least according to the gold standings right now. So I don't think week number 5 has been updated. So this is at least up to week number 4, completely undefeated here, 24 points, 8-0. So at least we know here it ends in week number 6. The Hyperion said, if we're not going to get the dub, we're at least going to make you bleed a little bit. So congratulations on that end. And, depending on how the rest of the other teams do, of course, there's a tie between, Mystic Goldcats, BDE Corruption, Regalia. So I believe it's top 4 teams that are making it to playoffs?
Top 6.
Top 6, even better. Okay, so that puts them in a really good position for, the last 3 weeks here. But they have to just hold on. They have to keep on at least getting a couple dubs here as the series comes to an end. But that's a lot of League of Legends that we have left to play.
Yeah, and we look forward to it again. Thank you, everybody, for dealing with the technical issues that we ran into. Me literally losing my internet, my computer completely taking a dump, having to restart my computer, rebuild reset up my power pass-through for Ethernet, because my Wi-Fi card just, I guess, died mid-series. Thank you for dealing with the fact that spectator bugs still exist. Thank you for dealing with the technical difficulties, my microphone issues, any number of things. Ryline, you and Becky have been troopers, and I could not be more thankful for you. And thank you, the viewers, for sticking with us for as late as this goes. A 3-game series when you're casting off of replays. 11:30 at night. I pray that this is fixed before playoffs.
Yeah, especially with the 5-game series and everything along those lines. So they gotta step up. But technical difficulties and all, I think, wonderful job. Thank you for holding it together, of course. We wouldn't be here without you, Dory. So, all is for you as well. So, very successful games, and thank you to the players. I mean, it's rough to work around, but absolute banger series, and I hope for next week we have even more action here.
Absolutely. And with that, for the weekend, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. We're going to be back with Otter Talk as soon as we can get everything straightened up. We're going to keep bringing you guys content every week. Keep tuning into the channel. Even subscribe to the YouTube channel. All the replays are available over at the Blue Otter League YouTube channel. And yeah, thank you so much. Make sure to follow us on our social media platforms. You see the casters always having their Twitters on here and stuff. But yeah, from all of us at Blue Otter League, once again, thank you so much for another banger week of games, and we will see you for week 7.
It's been